Section 16 of the Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri, translated by Courtney Langdon. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Inferno, Canto 16. The Seventh Circle, the Third Ring. Violence against Nature. Sodomites.
I now was where the booming of the water which fell into the following round was heard like the dull buzzing sound which beehives make, when three shades separated from a group, which neath the rain's tormenting punishment was passing by, and ran along together. Toward us they came, and each of them cried out,
Stop thou!
That by thy guard dost seem to us a citizen of our corrupted town.
Alas, what wounds I saw upon their limbs, both old and recent, by the flames burnt in! It pains me still but to remember them. My leader, giving heed to these their cries, turned his face round toward me, and said,
Now wait. To those men yonder courtesy is due, and were not for the fire, which, arrow-like, the nature of the place shoots forth, I'd say that haste were more becoming thee than them.
And they, when we had stopped, began again their old refrain, and after they had reached us, all three of them made of themselves a wheel. As champions oiled and nude are wont to do, when looking for an advantageous grip, before they come to giving blows and wounds. Thus as he wheeled, each turned his face toward me, so that his feet continuous journey made in opposite direction to his neck. And one began,
Even if the wretched nature of this soft place, and our burned, shrivelled faces, bring us and our requests into contempt, still let our reputation bend thy mind to tell us who thou art, that dost so safely rub on the soil of hell thy living feet. He in whose footprints thou dost see me tread was, though he go both nude and hairless now, of higher rank than thou believest him. He was the grandson of the good Gualdrada. His name was Guido Guerra, and when alive, his wisdom and his sword accomplished much. The other, who behind me treads the sand, Tejero Aldobrandi is, whose voice should have been welcomed in the world above. And I, who with them am tormented here, Jacopo Rusticucci was, and surely my shrewish wife than aught else hurts me more.
If I had been protected from the fire, I would have leapt into their midst below, and I believe my leader had allowed it. But since I should have burned and baked myself, fear was victorious over my good will, which made me eager to embrace them there. I then began, Your state impressed within me not scorn, but so much pain, that only late will all of it entirely disappear, as soon as this my lord said words to me, because of which I thought within myself that there were people coming such as you. Of your own town am I, and evermore have I your doings and your honoured names related, and heard mentioned with regard. I leave the gall, and for the sweet fruit go, which my veracious leader promised me. But to the centre must I first descend.
So may thy spirit lead thy members long.
The former thereupon replied to me,
And, after thou art gone, thy fame be bright. Tell me if courtesy and worth abide within our town, as they were wont to do, or whether they have wholly gone from it. For Guillermo Borsieri, who but newly has been in pain with us, and with our mates goes yonder, grieves us greatly with his words.
The people newly come and sudden gains have bred in thee such pride and such excess, that, Florence, thou art even now in pain. Thus with uplifted face I cried, whereat the three, who this as answer understood, looked at each other, as one looks at truth.
If satisfying others other times cost thee so little, happy thou that thus at thy sweet will dost speak.
They all replied,
Hence, so mayst thou, from these dark places saved, return to see the lovely stars again, when saying, I was there, shall do thee good, See that thou tell the people about us.
They then broke up their wheel, and in their flight it seemed as if their nimble legs were wings. Amen could not have been as quickly said, as they then disappeared. My teacher therefore thought it advisable for us to leave. I followed him, and not far had we gone, before the water's noise was so near by, that had we spoken we had not been heard. And as the stream, which is the first that eastward from Monteveso takes a separate course upon the left slope of the Apennines, and which above is Aquacheta called, before it flows into its lowly bed, and at Forlì is of that name deprived, booms loud, because of falling o'er a cliff above San Benedetto of the Alp, where for 1,000 there should refuge be. Even thus, as o'er a precipice it fell, we found that coloured water roaring so, that very soon it would have hurt our ears. I had a cord around me girt, wherewith I once had thought that I could capture the leopard with the brightly coloured hide. When from me I had wholly loosened it, even as my leader had commanded me, I coiled it up and held it out to him. Thereat upon his right he turned around, and hurled it to some distance from the edge, down into that profound and dark abyss. Surely some strange new thing must needs reply, said I within myself, to this strange signal, which with his eye my teacher follows thus. Ah, with what caution men should deal with those, who see not only what is done by others, but with their wisdom see into their thoughts. He said to me,
What I am waiting for, and what thy thought now dreams, will soon come up. Soon to thy vision will it be revealed.
Ere to a truth that hath a falsehood's face ought one to close his lips as best he can, for though one faultless be, it brings him shame. But I cannot suppress it here. Hence, reader, even by the verses of this comedy, so may they not be void of lasting favour, I swear to thee, that through that coarse dark air I saw a shape which would have chilled with wonder however brave a heart, come swimming up, as he returns who going down at times to clear an anchor clinging to a reef, or aught else lying hidden in the sea, above extends, and draweth in below.
End of Inferno, Canto 16.